There's a big showdown that is now taking place across political parties over the Samvidhan Hatya Divas. It is now Sanjay Raut who's defending the emergency that was imposed in 1975. Sanjay Raut says emergency was a matter of national security. Balasaheb Thackeray supported emergency then. The RSS also supported emergency in the year 1975. This is Sanjay Raut who's come out and defended the act of emergency which was imposed by Congress party and the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. Let's listen into what Sanjay Raut has said.
50 साल हो गए इमरजेंसी को, लोग भूल चुके हैं। इमरजेंसी आपातकाल क्यों लगाया गया? इस देश में कुछ लोग अराजकता फैलाना चाहते थे। रामलीला मैदान से खुला ऐलान हुआ था हमारे जवानों को, आर्मी को, कि सरकार के आदेशों का पालन मत करिए। पुलिस फोर्स को भड़काया जा रहा था कि सरकारी आदेश का पालन मत करो, उसे अराजकता कहते हैं। तो ऐसे में अगर अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी प्रधानमंत्री होते तो भी आपातकाल लगाते। ये देश की सुरक्षा का मामला था। कुछ लोग देश में बम बना रहे थे और जगह जगह पर बम विस्फोट कर रहे थे, ये सभी को मालूम है। और मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूँ, अमित शाह को आपातकाल क्या है पता नहीं, उस वक्त वो कितने साल के थे मुझे पता नहीं। जिस बालासाहेब ठाकरे के आज वो गुणगान गा रहे हैं ना, वो नकली शिवसेना के साथ, हिंदू हृदय सम्राट शिवसेना प्रमुख बालासाहेब ठाकरे ने उस वक्त इमरजेंसी को खुला समर्थन दिया था। खुला समर्थन, इंदिरा गांधी को खुला समर्थन दिया था। मुंबई में स्वागत किया था उस वक्त। आरएसएस ने भी समर्थन किया था।
My colleague Saurabh is now joining me on the story. Saurabh, we are seeing one of the key allies of the Congress party now, Uddhav Thackeray's Shiv Sena faction. A leader from the faction, Sanjay Raut, very clearly saying that it was Balasaheb Thackeray who had then extended his support to the emergency, and emergency was imposed because it was a matter of national security.
So, well, absolutely. Sanjay Raut commenting on the Samvidhan Hatya Divas, which was declared for 25th of June, he clearly says that Balasaheb Thackeray was one of the person who supported the emergency. He said that during this particular period, there was threat to the country. There would have been a law and order situation. There were people who were trying to do several bomb blasts, and therefore emergency was very much necessary. He went on to say that even if such situation would have arisen during Atal Bihari Vajpayee's tenure, then
Saurabh, stay on with me. Amit Malviya from the Bharatiya Janata Party is also joining me. Mr. Malviya, we are seeing one of the key allies of the Congress. Sanjay Raut is now saying that emergency was something that was supported by Balasaheb Thackeray also.
Emergency was a blot on India's democracy. Let's be very clear about it. Emergency was not imposed to save the country. Emergency was imposed to save Indira Gandhi's power, her position, and the country was put into the throes of a situation that we had never seen before. The fundamental rights of people were suspended, all because Indira Gandhi wanted to continue as the Prime Minister of this country. She amended the Constitution. She, in fact, mauled it so badly that the Prime Minister's office virtually became out of any kind of review. Therefore, nobody can justify emergency. And the Hatya Divas, the Constitution Hatya Divas that has been announced, is a firm reminder on the 50th anniversary of emergency that this country will never see an episode like this again. Just like the world hasn't forgotten Holocaust, emergency is constitutional Holocaust, and we should never forget it. Our coming generation should know that the Congress party was the only party that misused the Constitution, amended it, mauled it to ensure that their leader continues in power. This is a reminder to preserve the democratic values of our country. This is a reminder to ensure that Constitution reigns supreme. And Rahul Gandhi, who today runs around like a headless chicken with the copy of Constitution, should know it better than anyone else that it was his grandmother who imposed emergency in this country.
Mr. Malviya, you spoke about the fact that people should remember what emergency was. Not a lot of people actually know, especially the youth, of what that era actually was like. Do you believe with the Samvidhan Hatya Divas that has now been notified, do you believe people will understand what emergency was?
Most certainly. And a day like this will serve as a reminder. People will go back and read about it. Generations will go and learn about it. Look, emergency was not a peaceful period. There were people who were put into forced sterilization. There was untold misery. There was violence. People were put into jails. They were made to live under inhuman conditions. There was third-degree torture that happened on people. I mean, you name it. The violence endemic in the imposition of emergency is massive, and it has been covered up to a very large extent by the Congress party. All of that needs to come out. People need to know it. The youngsters need to know this. This is actually for the youth of the country who probably are going to inherit the democratic values that we leave behind for them. They are the ones who should know that this country did see a constitutional holocaust when emergency was imposed. And only if nations know their past will they work to secure their future. And that is why it is important to have 25th June as Samvidhan Hatya Divas.
Mr. Malviya, just one more thing. It was almost a period of 21 months from 1975 till 1977. This was the time when the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi had imposed a state of emergency. Do you believe, Congress says that, those were indeed the darkest days, and Sonia Gandhi, in fact, time and again has said that Congress understands what it was and has apologized for it. But do you believe the Congress has actually apologized for the emergency that was imposed?
Look, the Congress still continues to live in an emergency mindset. Forget the emergency that they imposed in 1975. Ever since Jawaharlal Nehru became the Prime Minister, there have been several instances when the Congress has actually muzzled freedom of speech and expression. Whether it is Rajiv Gandhi who brought in the postal bill, whether it is Sonia Gandhi who introduced the draconian 66A when she was the chairperson of the NAC, which was a position more powerful than the Prime Minister of India, or even today in states where they govern,
right,
whether it is Karnataka, Rajasthan, anywhere else. We've heard of so many instances where journalists are picked up randomly, cases filed against them, social media activists picked up and taken in. So
right,
the emergency mindset is so ingrained in the Congress party that while 1975 is a blot, the tendency to run
Mr. Malviya,
and trample with impunity continues.
Thank you, Mr. Malviya. BJP now saying that Congress needs to stop defending emergency, and on 25th of July, there will be a Samvidhan Hatya Divas that will be celebrated across the country. My colleague Saurabh is joining me on the story. Saurabh, we are seeing a tug-of-war taking place with regards to the BJP and the Congress. Both of them are now saying that they are the defenders, the actual heroes with regards to the constitution of the country.
Absolutely. This will be a very debatable thing in Maharashtra as well. Yesterday when Mamata Banerjee was here in Mumbai and she went to meet Uddhav Thackeray and Sharad Pawar as well, she was also questioned about this particular thing, that she said that she never supported this particular emergency which happened in 1975. In fact, she also went on to say that this is the Modi's tenure, which every day this particular constitution murder day is happening, and therefore we don't support it. It is they who have to clear it.
That was my colleague Saurabh, who was telling us about the fact that it is in the state of Maharashtra that a lot of politics is taking place, and Sanjay Raut now clearly saying it was Balasaheb Thackeray who had then supported emergency.